Traditional farming expands across land, you understand, but mushroom farming expands upward. Imagine ever being told that you need land before you can start a profitable farm. Well, look at this. These mushrooms were grown inside a simple room, not on a farm, not on a large piece of land, but in a space smaller than many people's bedroom. And if you're a young person in Nigeria, Ghana, Kenya, Uganda, or anywhere in Africa struggling with high land costs, this video could completely change how you think about agriculture. Are you with me? My name is Fine. Again, most of you know me. Grow mushroom with Fine, grow with Fine. And in this video, we're going to talk about how you can actually start mushroom farming without a land. So let's be honest. Many young people want to start farming, but the first obstacle they face is land. You hear people say, buy land first, get a big farm. You need acres before you can make money. People will even say, be merciful and say you need plots of land. But when you check land price, reality hits hard. In many Nigerian cities, even a small plot of land can cost hundreds of thousands or even millions of naira. So that dream gets postponed. Months become years, and many people never start. Again, the truth is that not every agricultural business requires farmland. Yes, mushroom farming is different. Mushroom farming is that one thing that doesn't need farmland or large farmland. Unlike maize, cassava, and vegetables that depend heavily on open fields, mushrooms don't use sunlight to make food. That's one of the biggest scientific facts many beginners don't even know about mushrooms. Mushrooms belong to a completely different biological group from plants. So instead of relying on sunlight, they feed on organic materials like sawdust, straws, and agricultural waste. That means production can happen vertically, indoor, and surprisingly small space. So the question is not, do I have land? The question is, do I have controlled space? After studying successful growers and understanding the science behind mushroom cultivation, I realized many profitable mushroom businesses operate from rooms, containers, shades, small structures, basically, before they start scaling. And in this video, I will share 5 practical secrets that make no land mushroom farming possible. We'll discuss setups, pace, requirements, yields, common mistakes, and the hidden factor that often determines whether you make or lose money. So let's begin. At this point, get your pen and paper. Secret number 1, think vertically, not horizontally. The biggest mindset shift is understanding that mushrooms grow vertically. Traditional farming expands across land, you understand, but mushroom farming expands upwards. So imagine a room measuring 3 meters by 4 meters, that's around 12 square meters. Many people would consider that, it's too small. But when you install simple shelving systems or hanging arrangements, that same room can hold bags, almost hundreds of bags in fact. This is why mushroom farmers often focus more on room design than land space. A beginner could start with an unused storeroom, a backyard shed, a rented room, a shipping container, an abandoned structure that needs minor repairs. But vertical farming alone won't make mushrooms grow. The next secret explains what the mushrooms actually need when you have given them that space. So action step is measure any unused indoor space available to you. Check the ceiling height, plan the shelves or your hanging system to be able to know how many bags can fit in. Focus on volume and not on your land size. So secret number 2, your real farm is actually your environment. Yes, many beginners think the room itself produces mushroom. Wrong. The environment is what actually produces mushroom. Your mushrooms care about humidity, they care about temperature, they care about fresh air, they care about cleanliness more than land. Yes, for oyster mushrooms, humidity often performs best around 80 to 95%. Okay, when humidity drops too low, your mushrooms will become small and dry. Another thing is airflow. When your airflow becomes poor, you're going to have growth problems. Growth problems are going to appear. Here's a scientific insight I want you to know. Mushrooms, they release carbon dioxide like human beings during growth. Okay, and if the CO2, that's carbon dioxide, accumulates excessively, the stems are going to become long and the caps are going to become small. And many beginners will start blaming their spawn. But the real problem at this particular point is ventilation. That's why successful growers monitor air exchange carefully. A simple room with proper humidity and ventilation can outperform a large building with poor environmental control. Think about that. A farmer with no land but proper environmental management can outperform someone with land but poor management. And this leads to the next secret that determines your startup cost. So at this particular point, your action step should be to install thermometer and hygrometer. Monitor your humidity daily. Avoid direct sunlight. Maintain cleanliness. Secret number 3 is start with agricultural waste, not expensive infrastructure. One reason mushroom farming is attractive is that mushrooms convert waste into food. Materials often used include sawdust, rice straw, corn cobs, corn stalks, agricultural residues like Some people use coffee waste, a lot of things. And these materials become growing substrates. So let's do a simple example. So suppose you purchase prepared mushroom bags, okay? A bag will produce multiple flush of mushroom over time. So if 100 bags each produce an average yield during your production cycle, total harvest can become surprisingly significant from a small room. That exact number vary, okay, depending on your management, your mushroom species, and your substrate quality. Your substrate, which is your sawdust and your rice bran. So the key lesson is the profit doesn't come from owning a land. It comes from converting low value materials into high value mushroom. And that's the real business model here. Many young farmers spend too much time worrying about buildings. Oh, I want it to be like this. I want it to look like this. Meanwhile, experienced growers focus on your substrate quality, because substrate directly affects your production. Yes, substrate quality and the environment directly affects your production. And now we will arrive at a secret that many people ignore until it hurts their profit. Before we get to that secret, take these action steps. Source quality substrate materials, or if you want to use fruiting bags, buy from trusted suppliers. Learn substrate preparation very well. Track your production per bag. Focus on your biological efficiency, because someone that is having 50% biological efficiency, someone that's having 70%, their profit is going to be totally different. So the next secret is sell before you harvest. This might be the most important business lesson in this video. Many beginners ask, how many mushrooms can I grow? Better question is, who will buy them? Mushrooms are highly perishable. Okay, fresh mushrooms, they have limited shelf life. That's why market planning should happen before production. Yes, I know that you can go ahead to dry. There's a market for dried mushroom as well. But you should be asking how to sell. Yeah, that should be your how to sell, who to sell to. That should be your major thing, and not how many kg can I produce. Okay, your potential customers include restaurants, hotels, supermarkets, healthy food stores, household, food processors, the market people. So let's use a simple calculation. Suppose a restaurant purchases 5 kg weekly and you have 5 restaurants. That should be like 25 kg weekly. Now your production planning becomes easier. You just need to know how many bags you can put in for a start, how many bags you need to bring in every week, just to make sure that you're able to meet your demand. So you grow according to demand, not according to guesswork. And one advantage of mushroom farming is that many urban customers are willing to pay premium price, because mushrooms are associated with health benefits and nutritious diets. The farmer who makes consistent money often builds customer relationship first, then they scale the production. And there's still one more secret I need to talk about, and it's the hidden reason many beginners fail even when they have customers, they have substrate, they have growing rooms. But before we go to that, let's take this action step. Identify your buyers early. Visit local restaurants, build a customer list, do WhatsApp selling, use the WhatsApp selling system, collect phone numbers, build your lead list, match your production to demand. So the 5th secret has to do with consistency. Okay? Remember the mistake I mentioned at the beginning? Inconsistency. Successful growers treat it like a production system. Mushrooms require routine, daily monitoring, a regular cleaning, consistent humidity, consistent airflow, consistent production schedules, the staggering method I mentioned about. So imagine two farmers. Farmer A owns land, farmer B owns no land, but follows a disciplined system. Who do you think is going to win? You already know the answer. Often it's always going to be farmer B, because mushroom rewards management more than how many plots of land you have or how big your facility is. This is why some growers operating from small rooms generate steady income, while others with large spaces struggle. They might just bring in all the fruiting back once without knowing the staggering method to support their production. Mushroom production depends heavily on environmental stability. I always say that small fluctuations can actually affect your yield quality and quantity. Consistency creates predictability creates profit, and profit creates growth. Eventually you see yourself expanding into a larger facility, but you need to be consistent. I always talk about my set reframe. I want you to remember something. Agriculture is changing. The old model said own land first, then farm. Modern agricultural agribusiness is now saying solve a production problem first, then you scale. Mushroom farming has proven this. You can start with the knowledge, okay? You can start with a small room. You can start with a controlled environment. The most important thing is that you have to start. And yes, you can start with agricultural waste, because that's what it needs. And you can start building experiences before making large investments. Don't allow the absence of land to become an excuse that delays your future. I am telling you now, the real assets are knowledge, skill, consistency. What else? Market access, execution. Land is valuable. For mushroom farming, it is not always a starting point, okay? So if this video changed how you think about farming, type no land, no excuse in the comment section. I would love to know what space you could potentially use for mushroom production. Do you have a spare room? Tell me in the comment section. Do you have a shed? Tell me in the comment section. Do you have a container? Tell me in the comment section, or something else. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and turn on notification. And yes, we're building a community. We're calling it Mission 1000 for the next 1000 mushroom farmers in Africa. Yeah. Comment link and I will drop the link for you. Yeah. Bye.